Today's sponsor of the Vision Quest podcast is 920 Hat Company. Leather patch hats are in, and 920 Hat Company is here to hook you up with your very own custom hat. All patches are lasered on top-grade genuine leather and on popular brand hats like Richardson and FlexFit. Whether you're looking to show off your business or want a one-of-a-kind hat for yourself, 920 Hat Company can do it all. All the hats are handcrafted right in the Fox Valley, but worn across America. With over 500 hats in stock, they guarantee fast turnaround times. Honestly, Liam, looking at these hats, solid, right?
Yeah, they're pretty. I like them.
I like that patch itself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one-of-a-kind stuff. I know his name's Trevor. He does great work. He's actually gotten I think we got a knit hat coming.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got that coming. So we're really excited to have these guys on board as a sponsor. So get down to check them out on Facebook. I believe they're on Instagram. Check them out, man. They got the best hats, I think, in the Fox Valley, if not in the state.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So get down to 920 Hat Company on social media and check them out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages across this great state and nation, we are talking tonight, and this is the Vision Quest podcast, by the way. I don't want to forget the show, right? But I'll do that either way. This is the Vision Quest podcast. We have a great guest tonight. I've seen you since you were knee-high to a grasshopper, except way taller than that. But, probably, 7 years old?
Something like that.
Yeah, so I've seen you for a while. We've been around you for a long time. Love your parents. Shout out to Erica and Bill. Can't forget Erica and Bill. They're hanging out doing something tonight, doing Erica and Bill stuff. But I'm here talking with Lucas Peters, 126-pound 2023 Wisconsin State Wrestling Champion. Right? Doesn't that feel sweet?
It does. It sounds cool when you say it.
Should I say it one more time? The 126-pound Wisconsin State Wrestling.
One time is good. One time's good.
All right. So it's cool to have you here.
I appreciate it.
It's awesome to have you in house because everything's always done online. It's always very not in person. I like in person. That's much more better. It's more better.
Face to face.
Yeah, right. Face to face, and Liam's face is on the other side of a computer screen. It's even better. So I've upgraded some stuff in here just a little bit, so it's a little different. But with that being said, Lucas, we've known you since you were little. You're from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, right? You're born and raised in Oshkosh, Wisconsin originally?
Yep. I was born there, lived there till just about before COVID.
Okay.
Then my parents moved up here. My dad had a job up here, so we moved up to closer to the Fox Valley up in Kaukauna.
Yep.
And then I went to school at Kaukauna High School, obviously. So.
Yeah. So what was life like as Lucas Peters when he was growing up? Because you did way more than just wrestling, man. I mean, you were in baseball and stuff. OIB.
I was kind of playing everything.
Yeah.
When I was little, my dad played a lot of sports in high school.
Yep.
And, back then they did play a lot of sports.
Oh yeah.
And so he put me in, football, baseball. I'm trying to think how old I was when I stopped playing football. Probably like 5th grade.
Yeah.
Probably stopped playing football. I was pretty small then. So,
okay.
And football is a dangerous sport, I think.
Right.
People are getting hit pretty hard. So I stuck with baseball and I wrestled, obviously.
Yeah.
And I love baseball. I love baseball, still do. It's probably one of my favorite sports.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
Played that up till freshman year.
Okay.
I was gonna play freshman year, but I think now if you want to be great at one sport,
you have to.
It's a one sport kind of thing.
Gotta be all in.
Yeah, you got to be all in for sure. And that I think honestly, we talk about that a lot. We just talked about it with Stelt. I mean, if you want to be competitive, and especially on their level at the world stage, I mean, you gotta initially right away, like he says, 14, 15, 16, but just to be competitive now. Just to be able to compete if you want to get on a podium or get to a 3rd place spot, you got to be good, so
absolutely
times have changed, so you do have to specialize. So where did you go to grade school?
Grace Lutheran. It's a private school in Oshkosh.
Yeah.
There's all of 200 something kids from preschool to 8th grade. So
it's pretty small.
I mean, it's pretty small.
Yep.
I think I'm trying to think how many kids I have in my grade right now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it triples, double, like it's
every year.
So much more than that was.
Liam's mom will tell you every time that she graduated with like 40 kids. So it's like you guys, but still your school for just in the Oshkosh area, it was small.
Yeah.
But it's a private school, so not a lot of people are going to it. But so did you guys? I don't think you guys had school sports there, right? You had to join like a public school for sports, didn't you?
So we did. We played the other private schools in our area.
Okay.
Around the.
So like you played Lourdes.
No,
right?
No, there were some other St. Mary's and stuff like that. Yeah.
So we played those. We had there was basketball.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
I tried that, but they're a little aggressive on the defensive end. I have this on-running joke where I always tell people I hold my middle school record for the most fouls in a single season.
Nice.
How many? That's just a joke. It'd be 5 every game.
Yeah.
It's not actually, but I was pretty aggressive on defense, so I tried that. I actually played soccer though. I know you're gonna like this.
Nice.
I played soccer.
Love it.
And it was co-ed soccer.
That's fine.
It was just fun soccer.
Fine.
You run around.
It's OASC, man. It's OASC.
Yeah, but I could see you taking it seriously.
Oh, I did.
You just see like a 5th grade Lucas Peters like squinting. He's really.
I think anything that Lucas does is pretty much he doesn't go half-ass. He whole-asses everything. You know.
Yeah.
So
it was just that was more of a fun sport.
Yeah.
That I just kind of did stay in shape in the summer. It was nice out, hung out with a bunch of my friends around the team. So
okay, yeah.
kind of went out for that. But
Makes
other
sense.
than that, I didn't go to wrestle in a public school or anything. I just wrestled on my own, trained at Askren and clubs like that around the area.
Yeah.
And so I just competed on my own pretty much.
Okay. So so you came up Grace Lutheran. What was that middle school too? Did they have middle school in there?
I went there from preschool till 8th grade.
No kidding. Wow.
Well, 8th grade, not really. It was COVID. But
Yeah. Right. So coming up, when did you start breaking wrestling into your life? When did you initially start wrestling?
2nd grade, I think.
Was
I started.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I believe 2nd.
Is that a Mat Rat situation?
I think so.
Nice.
I think it might have been
my alma mater.
Yeah. And there's some great people over there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And,
yeah.
And really brought little kids into the sports.
Yep. Well, I was wrestling with Zemke's down there because it was in Lourdes. It was in their basement at one point, and that's where it started. But that was, I was still, I half-assed. I didn't whole-ass wrestling. That was not, especially when I was getting tossed around by those guys. Like, I didn't have like the mental capacity to take the pounding all the time from those guys. Zemke's were fun to practice with, but man, they took it so seriously.
I remember I wrestled with Zemke. It was at Oshkosh North High School.
Yeah.
And we for some reason we always did this live goal every practice.
Yeah.
Where we'd both lock a cradle.
Yeah.
Both. And whoever
drills.
and it was live, and whoever it was Coach Matiash that would always do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I know who that is.
And he'd go, you can always tell who a great wrestler is because they'll just keep their strength. And I was like, I'm 8. I can't.
You were probably younger than that.
He's about 2 inches short or taller than me. I can't.
So when you started to wrestle, was it just kind of taking it easy, going to some practices, or is Dad really trying to bill you into it?
A lot of people think that like wrestling is my dad did it, so I do it.
Sure. Yeah.
My dad never wrestled.
Right.
He may have tried it, but was never into it. I'm really the only wrestler to come from my family.
Yeah.
But my dad had some of his best friends were wrestlers.
Yeah.
So he knew about it, and he was like, "Hey, give it a try."
Yeah.
He played all the sports, so give it a try. So I tried it, and I just started going and go to the practice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Apparently, I enjoyed it.
You're still doing it.
It's my favorite thing to do, obviously, but. So I just kind of got into it, started going, moved up, continued. And he was never, he's a dad, he wanted you to succeed, but he was never over the top, in my opinion. I never thought he was over the top. And he cared about me. He still does.
Of course.
He cares about me. So
he is the biggest supporter in the stands.
He's a supporter.
He is.
He's probably going to watch this later. Maybe he will, maybe he won't.
Yeah.
But Dad, I know you're listening. I know you might be listening. I appreciate the support from the beginning. You supported me from when I was,
hell yeah,
yay high till I hugged you after I won a state title. So
fucking Bill, that's
so
right,
thank you for
man.
the support.
That's right. Bill's got to be probably one of the more passionate dads about it's not even about winning, just about the moment.
Yep,
it's in the moment. Right. So it's not, and I think sometimes you might get that perception of anyone that's kind of like that with their kid where you're like, wow, they must be just intense all the time. Well, your dad's got energy. He loves sports, right?
Exactly.
He loves sport. And anybody that loves sports, if they're in it, they don't like losing because who likes losing, right? Like,
I think it was Michael Jordan. Like,
right.
It's less about winning, more about not losing.
Not losing,
I'd
correct.
Not lose than win.
But your dad's, and it's right in the moment. That's when it's fun to watch him. He's in the moment. He just wants to see the best happen, and that's the best part about Bill. And your mom is. I mean, you have a support like your grandpa, your mom, your dad. I mean, you have a great support system. Mm-hmm. So knowing that and coming up and doing wrestling the way that you did, were you introduced to like, and because we saw you at regular, local tournaments, things like that, but did you hit maybe national tournaments really early because were you having success? Like, how was wrestling for you when you first started?
I know I did qualify for state my first year.
Yeah.
I did qualify for state my first year. I think I went 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
I think I won a match there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the first time I went to a national tournament.
What about that?
National, quote unquote, yeah.
I'm going to say it was a Midwest tournament probably.
Yeah, what about the preseason nationals? That Instagram photo
maybe.
with you and Josh?
No, I was in like 6th grade there.
Oh,
so like that was like, yeah. But I have a feeling it was probably
like the Badger or something like that.
4th grade, maybe.
Yeah.
4th grade. I probably 3rd grade, maybe. I started going to a national tournament.
Yeah.
I know the first time I placed at a
national tournament, yeah.
But at the time, those were big. Like
they were
for a younger kid. That's big. I still think they can be.
Yep, great stepping stone.
It was Yellow Jacket Nationals.
Yeah.
I think I took 6th.
Yeah.
5th or 6th. I still have the medal.
Those used to be the Bison, I think. I think they used to have the one that was out in North Dakota, and then it's Yellow Jacket, and they brought it to Minnesota because I think people were tired of driving out to North Dakota or something.
It wasn't Yellow Jacket. It was Jack Rabbit.
That's right. Yep. Jack Rabbit.
Yellow Jacket was later on.
Yep, correct. But
so I think that was the first one, and then they had like the tour, so you kind of went around all of them.
Tried to get that belt.
They had the cool little tags.
I have the tags. Never got the belt.
Never got the belt.
The next belt, Super 32 belt. That's the one.
That's the one. That's one. And we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But so when your middle school years start coming up, obviously we were talking about going to AWA, things like that. Josh Wagner, shout out to Josh.
I hope he gets better soon.
Great coach. Great. What do you mean better? What happened?
He's always hurting.
Yeah.
Back.
Well, that's because he's busy making you guys better and getting beat up all the time. So that's part of the gig. He's heal up if he's. But I know he's talking about like his shoulders and backs and stuff like that. You're good.
I've heard that.
So you get into the AWA scene and you start to train. You kind of broke out of the. I've always said this, and this is not to downgrade any of them. Every place is a stepping stone for someone.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter where you start, doesn't matter where you go. As long as you're starting at the level that makes you better, any place is a stepping stone. In the state of Wisconsin, currently, the next stepping stone to the next level of older kids, older middle school into high school, I will swear up and down is AWA. You have Nazar. Nazar is another one. He's another step up. And these guys are also Nazar and AWA and all these guys in Crass, and these guys are all starting to develop young kids as well and bringing them through the pipeline. And they're all starting to kind of intertwine, which is nice. The partners, and I was talking to Crass about that. Partners are kind of reaching out,
Was he on here?
I had Crass on.
Jordy
we talked about Fargo. We talked about Fargo. You don't listen to the show. That's depressing. I'm really a little sad about that.
No.
So that's pretty cool. Really cool, Lucas. Really appreciate that. But these guys are all starting to get together. So when you started to go to AWA, did you notice like, oh man, I didn't realize he went here too. And then was it kind of opening up a little bit more for you once you got into a different room?
I think I started going. Actually, started going to AWA 7 years ago. I think.
Okay.
With Josh.
Yep.
I think this will be my 8th year. So
okay.
I think I started going like the winter. So like this winter, it'll be like my 8th year.
Because you started with Nazar down at UWO though with the Titan program.
I started up there.
Yeah.
And you saw, you went to the tournaments, you saw the singlets at AWA and see the coaches and see the guys that had success.
Yeah.
And so we saw AWA and my dad was he's like, hey, have you seen this club? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What? Sure, let's try it.
Right, yeah.
So I went up there and I loved it from the beginning. And, it's not like it was just, oh, this is good now, so the other one's bad.
Yeah, right.
It was not the case at all.
They have a different perspective.
They have a different perspective.
Totally.
And honestly, I feel it's more of the partners in the room.
Yep.
Like, if we cleared out everything in this basement and put mats down,
Yep.
and then just brought in the top 4 kids in the state, and we just wrestled.
Yeah, you find them there.
It'd be a great room.
Yep.
So we just, I found great partners at AW. I still find great partners. I find great partners at Nazar's.
Correct.
Wherever you go, you probably 95% of the time I can find a great partner.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
So.
And the advantage again to these guys, and it's not just it's Crass, it's Law, all those guys. They are getting current wrestlers, guys that have been through the not ring, but through the ringer.
Yeah.
The guys that have been through the ringer in the college level. I don't care if it's D3, D2, D1, NAIA. They've been through it, and it's current, and that's the knowledge that you guys need. And you see like a lot of the guys like you guys feeding off of that, asking questions and getting deeper into moves that you couldn't, as a kid, because I'm sorry, but coming up in Mat Rats when I came up, we didn't have those guys. It was a different time, and now you have these guys with knowledge like Nazar, Crass, and Josh, and Ben, and Max, and all those guys where you can really feed off those guys. So as you're starting to climb now, you're getting into middle school. I knew you had some success, so you'd gone to some decent like track wrestling preseason nationals. Yep. You did not everybody's taking first place, but you're placing high. You're beating guys that you getting monkeys off your back. For example, what were some of the tournaments that were memorable to you, like especially in middle school as you're starting to kind of climb a little bit?
So I was placing at the Midwest tour, the Hawkeye that. I never won one of the I did. I think I won the Yellow Jacket one.
Okay.
That was more my 7th grade year.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
one of them.
Yeah, whatever.
It was that one. And then kind of moved away from that tour and started going more towards the that was like when USAW was starting to come in.
Okay.
What I'm talking about?
Yep.
That those were bigger, tournaments.
Yep.
And that was where the good guys were going.
Yep.
So that's where, I went.
Yep.
And we went to the, preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I would place. I placed 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
Maybe a 3rd. Maybe not a 3rd. Like, it's just, I was placing. Sometimes I wouldn't place.
Mm-hmm.
But the first tournament I won, like, big one I won was postseason.
Okay.
I mean, it was 7th grade, 79 pounds. But,
yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
For a kid, that matters.
It was cool then.
Yeah.
And,
hell yeah, it does.
I think about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was cool. And then sometimes I look at the weight class. I'm like, oh.
But that creates that ladder, that creates.
That was the first time I think I found like, I reached it. Like that was the top of the tournament. Like it was the first time I won a big tournament.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty cool feeling.
Hell yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was Josh was in my corner for that, and that was pretty cool because
nice.
I was, training with him one-on-ones a lot, and
so
it was cool to find success with. He had a wrestler that he had many wrestlers to win, but like one of the guys he was training a lot to win, and I had with my coach to win. So that was pretty cool. That was a cool win. I remember that one.
Exactly. So. Cool. Very cool. So was anything ever kind of getting in your way of thinking, wow, I don't know if I want to do this, like middle school, were you thinking, trust me, I know as high schoolers, there's days where you guys have I don't want to wrestle anymore, but did you ever have a roadblock where you just don't want to?
Not really.
No, I'm running into that a lot.
I'll be honest,
not alone.
Like, even in high school,
yeah,
people are like, oh, getting down to weight sucks and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it does, and you say it sucks, but like, I wouldn't trade for anything.
Yeah,
this is great. I love the sport. I love everything about it.
That's awesome. It's good.
It's my favorite.
So
it's great.
Yeah.
So when did you? Because I mean, we saw him at. What tournament was it? Where I warmed up with him before the tournament?
No idea.
But then I ended up crapping the bed that tournament, I think, and I think you won it. It was some youth tournament.
Yeah.
And then we went to AWA for the first time.
Yeah.
And we saw him.
I was there.
And he was huge. Like,
yeah, you got big.
It was like your freshman year.
So you and Wyatt Skiba went through this transformation where you guys hit puberty. It was a puberty spike, but like watching
truck.
You wrestle as a kid. And then I don't think I saw you for a year or two, like compete wise. It's just wherever we were.
Kind of the COVID when that happened.
And then all of a sudden you're like this dude.
Then you started smoking me. And I was like, what's going on?
Your hands were heavier. You were snapping guys. It was like, whoa, Luke turned a corner and he didn't look like little Lukey Peters down in the UWO room anymore. You were like, Luke Peters.
Sometimes.
Here to wrestle.
My dad was like, oh, that's when you went from Lucas to Luke.
To Luke.
So,
built like a forklift.
That's right. That's right.
That was kind of the COVID. So I remember it was like a few days before dominating the Delves, which was a bigger national tournament.
It was always before regionals and stuff like that.
And that's when COVID was kind of hitting.
Yeah.
And it was like a day before the Waynes or something like that. And I remember my dad called me. I think I was walking my dog or something. And
of course you were.
Oh, it's, there's no tournaments all canceled because I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
So I came home. And then, that week kind of went by. Everything got canceled. Like, okay.
And then he showed you a bar.
Just kind of like nothing's going on. And then my dad had an old weight set in the basement that it was set up. It was always set up.
Just never used.
I don't know if he used it. I really don't. He's got
couple boxes on top of it.
He's got dad strength, so he probably was using it.
That just comes from years of experience.
No, just doing his daily checkup just to see how much he could do.
He might have been. I don't know.
Maybe.
So then I got down there, and I remember I was like benching the bar. Like that was it. Struggling to get the bar. And he started showing me lifts, and he's like, hey, try this. And I was going, and I got into it, and then I was like addicted to it. Like,
really?
I loved the weight room.
So
I was there every morning.
So
really?
did you, because you always
Then
try
I
to,
started, go ahead.
you always call me like kind of an ego lifter. Did you start at ego lifting?
No,
like,
it wasn't.
Did you just start?
No, it wasn't like that. It was like I found like the gym side of YouTube.
Yeah.
I started watching all the. I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
let me try this lift.
Try that
So
one.
I just had fun doing it because I couldn't wrestle. I mean, it wasn't much wrestling going on, so it was just let's work out and lift. So I did that in my basement for how long did that really last?
Oh
quarantine?
God, year and a half.
I mean, that was like almost every day. every morning I was down
So
there.
did you like? So, because obviously those gym guys, they follow a strict meal plan. They follow that. Did you follow that, or did you like do protein and creatine and all that?
I did. My dad, he was like, you show me. He was like, hey, this will help you. It was like creatine and just protein powder. I was like, all right.
That definitely.
So I just started doing that, and I ate just whatever I could find. And you're right, puberty kicked in. I was getting bigger in general. So I felt I did it at a good time. People say it stunts your growth.
Because you were coming into your freshman year, right?
It really only it really only stunts your growth if you're not eating the proper stuff and stuff like that. You were eating a lot, and you were doing
those guys that are pounding it. You
never know.
Anything will stunt your growth if you take too much of it.
So I was doing that, and I just enjoyed it. So I think that's something that got me a lot bigger. I put on a good size. I mean, I was tiny. I probably put on close to 50 pounds.
You were needles and pins when I used to see at UWO, and then like I said, you walk into that room, it's like, yeah, Lucas ain't here anymore. Luke's here now. Like he's got hair in his legs and shit. Like he was moving. You were moving mass. Moving mass.
So we go into your freshman year, right? And you were in Kakana. How did you? Because obviously we know.
Yeah, were you in Kakana yet though? So hold on a second.
When I got that, we didn't move. Towards the end of COVID is when we were moving. That's when my dad had a job up here.
Yep.
So we moved up here.
Yep.
It was kind of all aligned good.
Yeah.
We were looking to sell our house in general. So just kind of aligned and worked out.
Stars aligned.
Yeah. So then, I was working out in Oshkosh.
In Oshkosh,
big.
Yeah.
That's when I really caught some size.
Yep.
I obviously continued to work out after that, but
yeah.
What do they call it? Beginner gains or something like that?
Yeah.
Newbie gains.
Newbie gains.
Like
Yeah.
right away. I definitely had that.
Yeah.
That's what I had. It jumped up from
Still have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we moved up here, and then I moved all the weight stuff in our basement now.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
I use that not as much as I use the obviously high school weight room because
Yep.
that's just a lot better, obviously. But I still use it time to time. Weekend, Sunday night, sometime.
Room's not open or something. Yeah.
Get a good little lift in. So. But yeah.
So you came into freshman year as Kakana, right? And kind of like Liam was saying, but when you initially got here, there's always the rumors like, oh, they're move-ins, blah, blah, blah. But almost 3/4 of the people around from the Fox Valley are move-ins from somewhere. So it's hard to even live. And we dealt with it too. But when you got here, what was the atmosphere like in the wrestling room?
So that was my first time going to a new school.
Yeah.
Like I went.
Yeah, you K through 8 in one
15
school.
kids. We had the one kid that moved in, and we're like, "Who's this guy?" And then in like a week, he was like your best friend because it was the only other friend you had.
Is it?
There was nobody else there.
Yeah.
So moving into a school, you're like, oh, there's a lot of people here. I knew there was obviously some legacy with Kakana and having those big names in the wrestling room when I got there.
Yeah.
But I have nothing bad to say. Like it was completely accepting.
Nice.
welcomed me open arms.
Yeah.
You know, hey, come on, we're doing a workout here. Hey, we're going out to eat here. Come with us.
Who was in the room when you got in? Some of the notables.
The class that was there, my freshman year, their senior year, was Logan Stumpf, Jager Eisch, Trevor Stivenberg, Griffin Beckish.
There you go.
Alex. I mean, I'm going to miss a bunch of names there, but
whatever. Yeah. No, that's good.
So they were all there.
They know.
Notable names there.
Yep.
And yeah, they were, once I became PD
yeah.
of Lucas.
Yeah. So how did PD start? How did that come around?
I think Jager came up with it.
Did he?
Yeah. It was like little PD Bird.
Little Petey Bird.
Petey Bird.
Yeah.
And then it just took off.
No more. It's Petey. It's Luke or Lucas. No Petey Bird. Don't.
Sometimes our coach Machek, can have the
you give him the okay on that, yeah.
All right.
Or mom can pull it off. But so when you started kind of wrestling with these guys, obviously they kind of took you under their wing a little bit and showed you the way and kind of how the room goes. And each room has that. I mean, from here to Wrightstown to Oconomowoc, they all have their own room. So when you got in there, was it culture shock because it was so much wrestling, or was it this is what I've been waiting for?
It was like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of the people listening to this have seen the Kaukauna Wrestling Room.
Yeah.
It's top notch.
It's one of the best in the state. I mean, obviously you have the new ones.
I wasn't going to say it, but you did.
You have the new ones being built now, but what are those modeled after? Come on, folks. Let's face it. No, I'm just kidding.
They may have.
I'm not that ego.
Like you walk in, like, this is great.
Yeah, weight room's right there. Yeah. Like I can just walk off the mat.
You gotta like rub your eyes.
I didn't think I was completely shook or
stunned
with what was going on. I think I was quiet and just kind of moved along with where everyone else was going. I
Yeah.
guess I was a little bit of a sheep. Following, but
that's all right.
It wasn't like they
were
were
just coming in.
It wasn't like they were the bad sheep going to the left. They were.
Yeah.
These are some great guys that I could follow. I think the biggest guy I followed was Grayson Clark. All the way up till last year.
Sure.
He was close to my size, if not my size every year. So just kind of staying with him, knowing he had the right path, following him a lot. And there's other guys like Jager, Logan, those kind of guys followed them. Yep.
Like-minded guys are going to do like-minded things. That's just the way, that's the best way to go. I mean, otherwise you're getting clouded with other things that you don't want to deal with, So you come up in it. What are you going to ask?
So yeah, you walk like was it like you were thinking you were gonna start right away, or were you just there to kind of be there your freshman year?
I remember that's kind of everyone's thought when they come into high school on a wrestling team is, am I going to start?
Yeah.
I hear some people talking about it, and I always say, don't worry about that, because Coach Machek told me early on, your spot finds you. Like, you don't have to worry, but your spot will find you.
Yeah.
Amazing quote.
You just stay grinding on what you have to do. Spot will find you.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. Yeah. So you didn't really have that. I mean, obviously you got good guidance in the room and things like that. So when what is your ultimate goal then as you start kind of finding your way through your freshman year? Were you starting and like in a duel here and there, or?
I kind of got the varsity nod.
You were 106 then, right?
I was, yeah. I was 106. I kind of got the varsity nod from the beginning.
Okay.
There wasn't. I don't think we even had another 6-pounder. We might have had one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if we really even had a 6-pounder. So I was kind of the guy.
Yeah.
To get there. Actually, I think we might have, but I don't even think he was 106 pounds. He was, barely getting there.
Names will escape me. If we had Teague Fenwick on right now, he could probably pull that name out. Yeah.
But, so I just kind of, they, gave me the varsity spot, and I was just working, going through, keeping my head down.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like all the other guys on the wall.
Yeah.
So of course, I wanted to be just like everybody else that wants to wrestle should try and be the best they can.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be a state champion from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So just that was COVID year. So we had, I think, only had like 12 matches or 13 matches,
something like that. Yeah.
It wasn't many. I got injured that year, so I had to pull out of the postseason.
Yep. What was that? Your hand, right?
Yeah,
was it your finger on that one?
Yeah. So I had to pull out from that, and which is unfortunate, but move on.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do, right? I mean,
I try to find the positive in everything. So
that's good.
Find the next thing, move on. It's like
just like
when you're in a match, gets taken down, score the next point.
Yep.
Get the next game, score the next point. So,
while watching your state final, it was that way. You were always just ahead. Like you kept yourself ahead the whole time, and
try and picture it 0-0. score the next point.
Exactly. Then you score the next one. Correct. And that's a good frame of mind to have it. It's not easy to get that frame of mind especially when you're in the middle of a match and you're tired, you're third period, and you only got a minute left, and you're like, God, I can't get another takedown.
I can't really tell when Petey's tired. I can't. Like you can obviously you can tell when a guy is kind of But usually he just kind of looks just.
He takes a deep breath and goes back out there.
Yeah.
No, there's been some times I've been tired.
Oh yeah.
I try.
Third period scares.
Coach Machek's very adamant on showing good body language, so I try to keep good. So is Josh actually. Josh big on body language.
Yep.
So I try to keep good body language, even if you're feeling it on the inside.
Yep.
Hopefully, ideally, your opponent's feeling the same thing.
Correct.
So
correct. You don't want to convey
maybe
it.
if you show it, you're strong on the outside.
Yep.
Have you ever had that where you and this guy were just scrapping, and you're tired, but then
maybe
he's kind of just
I don't know. I just try to just stay focused at the same time.
Yeah. So freshman year, obviously you got hurt. So then coming into sophomore year, right now you go, eyes are still on the same thing, goals are the same, right?
Yep.
So what are your monkeys that are on your back that you're trying to take off? Like how does that season kind of work out for you? Sophomore year,
I think the match I came back from my injury.
Yep.
After team state first, fully back.
Yeah.
Match I had. It's got to be close to freestyle state, if not all freestyle. So
yes. Okay. Now I remember what you're talking about.
Kind of coming back, so I was kind of set my eyes on Fargo. That was kind of the next thing was Fargo.
Yep.
Set my eyes on Fargo. Qualified for Fargo. I think I went 0-2.
Yeah.
2-2 maybe.
Yeah. A little closer than Mike. You're kind of you're
1-2.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah. You're good. 1-2. Yeah. Yep.
Went 1-2, something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't great. I don't think I made it to the second day.
Right.
So then went on to sophomore year.
Yeah.
Found some success early on.
Yeah.
Was just kind of moving on, keep going. I placed third at the Christmas tournament.
Okay. Yep. You're talking junior year now?
No, this is
sophomore. Okay.
I took third junior year too.
Yep.
Sophomore year, took third at the Christmas tournament.
Yep.
So I was wrestling.
What about Cheesehead?
Right. Cheesehead, it was after Christmas tournament. I took third there.
Nice.
Too.
Great placement. Some pretty tough tournaments,
man. Those are some tougher tournaments.
Yep.
Losing to some good
guys. Good guys, yeah.
Then moved on to postseason.
Yep.
Wrestled, took second at sectionals.
Mm-hmm.
To Shane, who obviously beat me in the finals, and then moved to state. Actually wrestled tough kid in the semis.
Yep.
Moved on to finals.
Who was that in the semis though?
Chance Suddeth, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah. Double leg.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Love Chance.
Yeah.
And moved on to finals and got the better of me. Shane's a great guy. So
Yep.
Took second there. That was a little heartbreaking. It's never fun to lose, especially getting there all the way and losing. But,
right.
And then moved on to the next Fargo after that. And
Fargo's tough, man.
Fargo's tough.
It's tough.
Got beat in the blood rounds that year.
Yeah.
It'll
work you. It'll work you.
It was kind of frustrating, having two heartbreaking losses after back-to-back tough tournaments like that. It's kind of tough, and coaches are like, just
so
keep moving.
The mental mindset thing then must help a lot with that. You know what I'm saying? As far as there's no this isn't. I've heard some guys say it's like psychologist. I mean, it kind of is, but you're only helping yourself. They're giving you the tools. They're giving.
Are you talking about the wrestling mindset?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They're giving you the tools. They're giving you because you have it. And a lot of times as a competitor, just talking about Fargo itself, I mean, coming through that backside, that'll work on you. Yeah, you got 9 matches to go, just to All-American or something. Like, dude,
that's tough.
Rough, man. The brackets are the size from floor to ceiling. So it's you're
in here. They're probably
right. Correct.
You have a mindset guy, right?
I do wrestling mindset.
Yeah,
I enjoy it a lot. So I guess I'm advocating for wrestling mindset right now, but anybody
that's fine.
Who thinks they need
mindset
training, wrestling mindset's where it's
at. Mindset Mike.
Mindset Mike.
Yeah, Mike. He's yep. Great. Yep. So those, I see those. You see those guys everywhere, man. I heard nothing but good about those guys. So there's nothing wrong with plugging those guys. So as you're working through your junior year, right? You're getting up to your junior year. So right, Fargo's done. Correct. So now the eyes are still on the prize, right?
And it was.
And
all gas, no brakes.
It was all gas. So let's talk about that a little bit though, because the season was, and like we as parents, we put so much weight on a lot of things, and we just want the best for you guys, right? We're there to cheer. So, but as the athlete, there are certain things that matter and certain things that don't. Like you still want to perform for your team, right? But in the grand scheme of things, when it comes down to yourself, you worry about yourself, right?
Absolutely.
So we talk about whether the loss is good or loss is bad. Sometimes certain losses happen and it doesn't matter.
I think
it doesn't matter.
Every loss is just another learning.
It's a learning opportunity, correct. And I think that's the biggest thing to take away from it, because if you're so worried about the WL situation, like you're going to go crazy.
It's more about the
progression,
the quality of the W, or the like you could, have a really bad match and get the win.
That's right.
And then have a wrestle really, really good and lose by 1 against a really tough kid.
Agreed.
And get beat. But
Totally
agree.
agree.
I wrestled better that loss than I did that win.
I was just talking to Hamidi about that, the 3-2 loss that he had against, or 4-2, I think it was against Marinelli.
Oh,
great opponent. Like
that's a great match.
2-point match. Like I want to watch that pretty soon, actually. I think because that sounds exciting. Yeah. But that loss, like like you say, you can't. There are good losses, there are great wins, and vice versa. So how does junior year roll out for you? How does that go?
4 losses on the year.
Yep. Tough losses too.
Yeah, tough losses.
Yep. Good guys.
Took one at the Christmas tournament.
Yep.
So I'm at the Cheesehead. One in season 1, and then kind of got into the postseason and was just eyes on the prize all the way.
Yeah.
No celebration happiness till it's over and kind of thing. So just kind of took it step by step and just enjoyed the process. Was grateful for everyone around.
Finals. Job ain't finished.
Job's not finished.
Not done yet.
So moved on to conference, moved on to regional sectionals, and I've got the job done at state. So
what were some of the more, like, do you feel like were some of the more important tournaments for you that season to kind of, I guess not even just build off of, but like you feel good, like this is, because you can get it out of a duel, but you don't get that out of a duel usually. Sometimes it's a tough tournament where you're like, man, I'm feeling it this year.
I wrestled pretty good at Cheesehead this year, along with Christmas tournament.
Yeah.
I liked Pulaski personally. I felt I really exercised offense there.
Yes,
that was one thing I was trying to work on throughout the year, was start scoring more points.
Yep.
My matches were notoriously close and little scoring before that.
Yes.
So I wanted to start scoring a lot more points and taking more risks. So I did, and it paid off. So that was another one that kind of stood out. That's a great tournament too. That's a historic tournament in my opinion.
Yep.
A lot of history goes on at the Pulaski tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think I had fun. I mean, again, this was
you commentated that, didn't you?
Pulaski?
I think so.
Maybe. Yeah, you commentated the Pulaski Invitational.
That's right.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Because there's a photo that Mom has of
right.
you laughing while I'm walking past. That someone took.
So was that Pulaski? I felt like that was
Pulaski.
I think you did Pulaski and sectionals.
I did. Yes, I did help with sectionals. That was a little messy on that one.
How would you say your offense like evolved? Because hold on. So NCAA's happened a couple of years ago, and this is one thing that I remember Ben Askren said: your defense will never be as good as the other guy's offense.
Yep,
that's
right.
Yeah. So I was taking a lot more risks.
Yeah, so
I was taking just more shots, and it's not even scoring more points on my feet. It was on top.
Yeah,
I wasn't really riding much. If I was riding, I wasn't looking to turn.
Yeah.
So I made an effort to try and turn more guys.
Right on.
So
I was just working more on turns mostly.
Yeah. So while you were trying to create your offense, were you mainly taking those risks at practice so that you could learn and not have to take those risks, not knowing what would happen at tournaments, or are you still taking all those risks at tournaments as well?
I was both.
Both?
You can practice everything as much as you want in practice.
Yep.
And it's never going to correlate to
live
what happens in a match with all the fans watching. You have your ankle bands on, singlet, headgear. There's a ref there.
Yep.
There's a circle you have to stay in. Like,
it's a whole different ball game, man.
Yeah.
Even like if you make a wrestle off, like, there's wrestle offs in high school, and it's just a live go, and maybe even if you put a singlet on, it's not going to.
It's never going to be the same.
It's never going to be the same. You can make weight, do whatever you want. It's just not going to be the same with all the fans around
Yeah.
you, you know, the pressure that's there. So you really just have to, you know, like I think
Let it
someone
rip.
told me, like Yanni said, have some nuts. And
Yeah.
you just got to try it. If
You
it
gotta have
doesn't,
balls.
you know, if it doesn't work, I talked with Josh about this. And if it doesn't work, what's the worst to have? Is he scores a takedown.
Yeah. Then go get it back,
Score
you know.
the next point.
Right,
It's just,
right.
He talks about that a lot.
So
what's the worst
how
that
many
happens?
how many times did you have to wrestle the guy that you wrestled in the finals?
5.
Oh,
I think it was 5.
5.
5 times.
Duel.
Dual conference.
5 times. So does that work on you a little bit? I mean, does that because it's not like he's a bad opponent.
No,
but
it's
at
your
the same time though
practice
too,
part.
like
Yeah, Jacob's a great guy.
right.
And,
At the same time though too is like what it's like again?
yeah.
Again?
I don't know. I guess there's 2 ways to look at it. And
Yeah.
It was like, 4 out of the 5 already.
Yeah.
This is the main
Got to
one.
have confidence to get the 5th one.
Right, right,
And
right.
there's times where you did it 4 times correctly.
Yeah.
The odds aren't really tipping. Like you flip a coin 4 times, the odds aren't really going to the 4. You know.
So you had the injury, you know, so you missed out on a year like that. The whole Skiba thing happened. He got his chance after the injury kind of thing. And then, so this was your opportunity, right? This was that you talking about the 4 out of 5 chance going into the state finals. What is going through your head? We only got a couple minutes here. So you're on a tight schedule.
Okay.
here, Lucas.
All right. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah. So what's going through your head? You're going into the state finals. You got a great coach behind you. You got Machek behind you. Who else is in your corner that day?
Coach Zach Pearson.
Zach Pearson. Shout out to the Wisconsin Grappler.
Coach,
Whoop, whoop.
Coach Jerry.
Yes.
He kind of
Van.
more of my top. You know, he's very tough at riding, so he was kind of my top coach.
Yeah.
Helped me with the rides.
I did ride him out once.
Pearson's more my, mental guy. Tell me, stay
Yep.
calm. Scout guy.
Chill out,
know
yeah.
what's going on.
Yep.
Machek's, all around great
Yeah.
motivation.
Just
Tell me
motivator.
what I got to say when
You're a fucking animal. You know that.
You're so
Yeah.
big, dude. Oh,
cock of the walk. Cock of the walk.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And you need that though.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, you're
need
going
that.
into a match like that. So
Yeah.
you go like we were talking about before. There was like back and forth, but
It
you
was.
stayed ahead 2 points
Yeah.
the whole time. I believe. I don't think he was ahead.
okay.
It might
So
have been tied. Actually,
don't think he was ahead.
Might have been tied at one time. I don't know, but kind of like we talked before, I just pretended it was 0-0, scoring the next point, and it worked, I guess. So if you're ever anyone watching, if you're ever in a match,
Yeah.
you don't know what to really do, if I should shoot or not, just pretend it's 0-0.
Yep.
You got to score the next point.
You gotta to win. You
When-
gotta to win.
when did you know, like, okay, I obviously you can think, like, I'm going to win this match. I got this match. But, like, what shot, what, like, escape, what turn did you think, like, okay, I got this?
I tell people this a lot. There's some younger kids in the room that ask me this, sometimes you lack confidence, blah, blah, blah. And I just sort of say, like, you got to go into every match like you're going to win. You could be the number 1 kid in the country.
Yeah.
You got to go out there thinking you're like, I can win this.
No
I can
doubt.
go out there. Anybody can get beat.
Yep.
Anybody can beat. Anybody can trip on their shoelace, fall on their back, and get pinned.
Yep.
Anybody can get beat. So, I go into every match thinking I can win. Not in a non-humble, cocky
Yeah.
way. Like, I just go in with the confidence. Like, yeah, I can
got
win
this.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to fight hard to win, but I can do this.
Yep.
I've been here. I can do it.
Yep.
So that was kind of. So I guess when you say when did I know? Guess maybe
You just
before.
told yourself,
Before.
yeah.
I can do this.
Because that third period scared me.
Move wise, I don't know. Probably the last takedown.
Yeah.
Escape.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I looked at the clock, it was 17 seconds.
Right.
That was probably it.
Because
No. You know when I knew I won? When the whistle blew.
When the
There we
whistle
go.
blew.
That-
So the
should've been
best
my
part is
answer.
that when you laced between the referees because you're like, yes.
I get a lot of hate for that.
No,
the referee said-
absolutely not. No hate.
No, I know.
No hate. None whatsoever. What?
Because the referee, I think someone told me, Machek said it, or Pearson said it. He said, yeah, the referee said, if there would have been more time, I would have called him again.
Yeah,
And I was like,
what-
really, dude?
Yeah,
There was-
what? 3 more seconds? Like, get out of here.
You can give him a double stall.
They're saying all kinds of stuff. But so when you
They're just jealous.
you get done with your you win, you're excited. Does that what happened the next day? Were you right back to work after that?
What did I do the next day? Oh,
Burgers,
no,
ice
we
cream?
didn't make way for Team State.
Oh, jeez, that's right.
So,
Oh my God.
So I wasn't really gorging myself. What did I?
Right.
Have? I think I had ice cream. I might have had ice cream.
Yeah,
You kind of have to. I, mean,
I think
you
I
wanna
had
stay
ice cream.
tight.
you want a state
But
title? Yeah. it's
Someone asked me, and I'm gonna.
like- what was the first thing you ate after you got done?
I think you guys went to Noodles.
After you won state, where was the first thing you ate after you got
I think
done?
it was Taco Bell.
Was that?
Oh, yeah.
It was the only thing open.
They
It was pretty
all,
late when we
that's
got
right.
back.
Yeah.
they all
I think
walked
it was
over
going to be
Taco
Noodles
Bell.
and Company, and then it was going to be
Yep.
Buffalo Wild Wings,
Yep.
and then it ended up being Taco Bell.
Nice. Hey, you can't lose the taco. I mean, you lose a
No.
couple pounds the next day, but
You can definitely lose.
3 a.m.
You can definitely lose a Taco Bell.
No, okay.
yeah,
so
where's your taco burrito at 3 a.m.? Taco
so
Bell. That's where
I was watching this, and it was like second period. You were up by a good amount.
we got a couple minutes, so make it snappy here.
Then all of a sudden, I just kept on seeing like Jacob scored, cut him.
Yeah, but
Jacob
then
scored, and I was just getting a little worried.
he was never in the lead. Jacob was never in the
Yeah,
lead.
but he started chipping away at it, and even Judah was sitting right next to me. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?"
It's almost like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
It's almost like he knew what he was doing, huh?
just tried to stay calm. And
So now there's been, obviously you've been kind of, you're getting into your senior year. You've been talking to places, but obviously you don't have to talk about anybody, but how many schools are you kind of talking to right now?
there's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few out there.
4 or 5,
Something like that,
somewhere
yeah.
around there.
What do you
Yeah.
want to go to school for?
Journalism. That's actually something I do know.
Nice.
Pretty firm on that.
You're solid on that. You've been talking about that for a while.
I
though.
want to be a
That's good.
journalist, reporter. So
Okay.
that's
Your
kinda right up my
broadcaster
alley.
voice,
Right, what
is
we're doing.
very good.
My broadcast, it's all right.
He's got to
It's
get
very
a little closer to the mic. You got
It's
to
all
with
right.
a thought, like. Blah, 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 come on.
so yeah, I find this aspect of questioning, answering
Yeah.
very interesting.
I can tell that when you're asking questions, you'll be like, what is your opinion on?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so I've always enjoyed that. I think
Yeah.
from watching the national tournament, and you see the guys getting their interviews
interviews
after
and
their
stuff,
matches.
yeah.
I just always found that interesting.
Shane Sparks.
Yeah, great guy.
You
Yeah.
disagreed on
Shane's
Nino.
a great guy,
Nino's questioning.
but just always found that fascinating and enjoyed questioning and answering. So this is kind of up my alley, I guess.
Yeah, this is, again, I kind of just got started because I thought, people are interesting.
Yeah.
The stories are interesting.
And
And
it is. Everyone's got their own story. You just
everyone.
got to pick their brain, no matter.
it doesn't matter if you like them or not either.
Exactly. You can respect their opinion and where they come from.
Exactly. So that's kind of like, I like to take in all the information. I just started reading Wrestle Tough, Wrestling Tough. So I just started reading that. And I mean, we're surrounded in this state by so much great, athletic people
Yes.
in general, not just wrestling, but in general, but you can't go wrong. So with that being said, is there a possibility that you would maybe stay in Wisconsin to wrestle? Are you thinking, are you thinking about hanging around? It doesn't matter what school.
Yeah, I'm not.
You like the state. Liam doesn't like the cold.
no,
I don't like the cold either.
no.
don't
But
like the
it
cold.
can't be like 100 degrees. I'm not living in Texas or anything.
I would rather have it be 100 degrees. Than
Okay.
Maciek says the same
negative
thing.
30.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Okay.
If it's hot outside, I can just go inside.
Not
for the
go
day.
outside.
Like it's not that. It's not that bad.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't mind. I'm not a huge cold guy. I'm okay with it. I've lived here 17 years. It's not that
Right.
big of a deal.
Well,
But I haven't for college wise. I haven't closed any doors. I haven't walked through any doors yet. So
are you drawing a line at the frozen line though? Is there an indicator of that way? Like you're
I'm okay with.
you're
it.
going past the permafrost? Is that where you're going?
All right.
Yeah, let's just hope some school in the Bahamas.
Jamaica,
that'd be
whatever,
great.
the University
So-
of of Kingston
We're
or
gonna let you
whatever.
come to school here. All you got to do is lay on the beach. That'd be excellent.
That would be excellent.
Be excellent.
Well, dude, you have a schedule to keep tonight, so we're gonna start up the little bit of music here to kind of close it out. But we've been blessed and able to have Lucas here. We know we've been talking to you a little bit. You want to wait till the season got done, which is totally understandable. Now we got you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It was a great time.
Yeah, I've had fun talking to you, dude. And we're going to have you back on since we got a whole other season to go through yet.
All right.
Because you're going to make a decision eventually about where you want to go to school, right?
Hopefully. That's the goal, ain't it?
You got a list. You're kind of checking things out, feeling it out. I mean, you got a whole year yet to kind of figure it out, but we're going to be right there when you make that decision. That's for sure.
All right.
We're going to be right there.
I better get a picture.
Okay.
Everybody, this has been another episode of the Vision Quest podcast with our friend Lucas Peters, the 126-pound Wisconsin state champion. Peace! All of our episodes are brought to you by Appleton Tattoo, located at 117 South Appleton Street in Appleton, Wisconsin, right off the main drag on College Avenue. You can't miss them. I've had some work done. I have a Celtic cross that covers my back that was done by Jason. We're not done yet.
Jason Winans and crew, the artists that he have there, those guys are the best in the Fox Valley. They are definitely one to go to if it's something that you've just been kind of throwing around. They'll make you feel comfortable. It's a very clean environment, very nice crew, and very willing to get done whatever you need done when you need it done. You can message them on Facebook. I know they're on Facebook. You can give them a call at 920-604-8289 and get in touch with Jason Winans and crew at Appleton Tattoo, located again in Appleton, Wisconsin at 117 South Appleton Street, right in Appleton. Very flexible hours, great crew, clean environment again. I would not send you anywhere else except for these guys. Appleton Tattoo.